In today's episode of the Villains Corner, we'll be going over Murlocs, one of WoW's most prominent and iconic species of villains that shows up in nearly every single expansion in the game. Murlocs themselves are an intelligent humanoid species with their own language, and are more than capable of using tools and even congregate into large groups. All of these things would point to an eventual advanced civilization, if it wasn't for the fact that Murlocs have no interest in that. Klopper Whizbang from the Explorers League did a study on Murlocs, and found while they are somewhat intelligent, if a little stupid when compared to other sentient races, the reason why they're so primitive is because they have no curiosity when it comes to new technologies, which is not the norm when it comes to more advanced species. So basically, they're just kinda dumb and very not curious about the world. The Murlocs are also a somewhat violent race, and have many different reasons for why they attack people. One of the reasons is that they worship basically anything that is stronger than them. So if there's a gigantic shark that beats some of them in battle, they might worship it as their god, until a bigger sea creature comes along and kills that shark, in which case that new sea creature will be their new god. In Warcraft 3, a group of Murlocs worshipped a Naga sea witch, who was a powerful spellcaster, and the Murlocs abducted Vol'jin's father and sacrificed him to the Sea Witch, and the Murlocs were almost successful in completely wiping out the Darkspear tribe, until Thrall came in and saved the day with his band of orcs. So Murlocs have played pretty important roles in WoW's lore, but there aren't very many notable singular Murlocs. Probably one of the more infamous Murlocs is old Murk-Eye, who was an elite Murloc on the shores of Westfall, who was the objective of a low-level kill quest, and surrounded by other Murlocs, which meant he caused the death of a lot of low-level players. The final boss of the Wailing Caverns dungeon was a Murloc named Mutanus the Devourer. After clearing the dungeon, you can talk to one of the druids at the entrance in order to perform a ritual to cleanse the caverns of the nightmare, where you have to fight the worst nightmare of the druid Gnarlex, and it turned out his worst nightmare was Murlocs. In another dungeon, located in the Black Fathom Deeps, was a Murloc named Gelihast, who heard whispers from the old gods and decided, man, old gods sure are strong, I should totally worship them, and then went into a cave full of Twilight Hammer cultists, and then just started killing all of them with his twin swords. And the Twilight cultists were so impressed by both his devotion to the old gods and his brutality that they allowed him to stay, and he built his own shrine in a cave off to the side in order to offer his own sacrifices and receive blessings from the ominous presence in the ruins. But then later on, a faceless one named Subjugator Korul was summoned by the Twilight Hammer and sent into the cave to kill everything that wasn't under their direct control, which included the wild Murloc. So the faithless one killed Gelihast and then took control over his Murlocs, while hanging up Gelihast's body as proof of his dominance over the other Murlocs. And then there's Captain Cookie, a Murloc who became the captain of the Defias Juggernaut, a gigantic ship located in the Dead Mines. Now, the way Cookie became captain of the ship was one day, after the previous captain was killed, he decided to start calling himself the new captain, and anyone who disagreed with him came down with a mysterious but severe case of food poisoning. After adventurers go into the Dead Mines and kill everyone in there, Captain Cookie manages to escape, and went to Talador and is the inventor of the Legion Chili food item from Warlords of Draenor. And for the most part, these are all of the named villain Murlocs in the game. There are a few Murlocs that are much more friendly, like Murky and Sir Finley Mrrgglton, a Murloc from the Explorers League who's even able to speak common, but this is a villain-centric series, so we won't be talking about those two. Alright, and that's it for the Villains Corner on Murlocs. As always, I'd like to thank Rachel for doing the amazing drawings you see in this video. If you want to check out her work, I'll have her Twitter and other websites linked in the video description. Rachel even has commissions open if you want your characters drawn in a Villains Corner style, so make sure to check that out. And if you have an idea for a future Villains Corner video, I'd love to hear about it down in the comments.